Good afternoon, everyone. Today we'll take a class on hypnotics, sedatives, and tranquilizers. Usually, hypnotics and sedatives are classified in under same heading, whereas tranquilizers are discussed under different heading. So, what is meant by a sedative? So, when I told about different degrees of CNS depression, I told the mildest degree of CNS depression is nothing but sedation. So sedatives are agents that will decrease the activity, moderate excitement, and calm down the patient, and that is the mildest degree of CNS depression. Whereas hypnotics are agents usually provides a state which is very resemble to the normal sleep. So as a definition, we can tell like hypnotics are agents that will produce drowsiness and facilitate the onset and maintenance of a state of sleep that resembles the natural sleep, and patient can be aroused easily. Then what is a tranquilizers? So tranquilizers are agents which will produce calmness and indifference to the surroundings. The thing is, tranquilizers we employ, as far as veterinarians are concerned, tranquilizers are mainly used to control wild animals, and they produce less drowsiness when compared to sedatives. So, what are the different uses of hypnotics, sedatives, and tranquilizers? So, hypnotics and sedatives mainly used to restrain the animal, then to facilitate handling. And if you want to transport the animal, we can use hypnotics or sedatives, and we can modify the behavior. You can reduce the aggressiveness of the animals, and as a pre-anesthetic medication, as a preparatory for the pure anesthesia, then for the facilitation of minor surgery, and also to perform some invasive diagnostic procedures. So coming to the classification of hypnotics and sedatives, as I already said, hypnotics and sedatives are classified under same heading, whereas we have a different classification for tranquilizers. So we have very important classes of drugs which is coming under hypnotics and sedatives. So the number one class which is coming under hypnotic sedatives or classical sedatives is benzodiazepines. So we have the examples like in case of benzodiazepines, diazepam and midazolam. Diazepam and midazolam, many of these drugs already came in so many other categories, but I'll be taking mainly the mechanism of action, etc. in detail under this heading, under sedatives. So first class is benzodiazepine, which have the examples like diazepam and midazolam. Then we have alpha-2 adrenergic agonists. It's very important. We have xylazine, determidine, medetomidine, and ramifidine. Then barbiturates, which we already studied under anesthesia, also we can use as sedative, or like barbiturates are mainly utilized as sedatives. We have example like phenobarbital, amobarbital, secobarbital, pentobarbital, etc. They are mainly the agents which are used as sedatives are mainly long-acting or intermediate-acting. Then we have chloral derivatives like chlorohydrate, then aldehydes like paraldehyde, then inorganic salts like sodium bromide, potassium bromide, and MAC There are so many miscellaneous agents which can be used as hypnotics or sedatives. We have examples like alcohol, then piperidions, methylbromide, ethchlorophenol. Coming to the tranquilizers, this will be a new class of drugs for you. You can see like there is a class which is called as phenothiazine derivatives. We have three types of phenothiazine derivatives, like those containing aliphatic side chain, which is as the example chlorpromazine, azithromycin, promazine, triflupromazine. Whereas which contain piperazine side chain, examples are prochlorperazine, profenazine, flufenazine. And those contain piperidine side chain are examples are thioridazine, piperazethazine. Then the next class is thiazanthine. The first class was phenothiazine derivatives. Second class is thiazanthines, which has the example chlorprothiaxine. Then butyrophenones, which is again have the examples you already know about droperidol, which is used as a component in case of neuroleptic analgesia. So we have the examples of tranquilizers which is coming under butyrophenone category, that is azapiron, droperidol, and fluorazino. Coming to the first class of hypnotics and sedatives, the first major class which belong to hypnotics and sedatives are benzodiazepines. So as I already told when I took the class on barbiturates, benzodiazepines and alcohol, you can see the picture here, are acting on GABA receptors. Mainly we can see benzodiazepines are acting on GABA A receptor. So as you know, GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. So whenever there is an occurrence of or acting of benzodiazepine on GABA A receptor, there will be enhancement of movement or influx of chlorine ions. You can see in the first picture, as there will be improvement or increase in the movement of chlorine ions or chloride ions, and there will be increase in the inhibitory action of GABA. So benzodiazepines are always acting on GABA A receptor and enhance its action. So this is mainly inhibitory, enhancement of inhibition. So the inhibitory reflexes or inhibition is enhanced. So just like barbiturates, benzodiazepines as well as alcohol are always acting on GABA receptors. So there are so many non-benzodiazepines also. So they may be either acting as inverse agonists or antagonists. We'll come to those category later. So you have to remember one thing: the antagonist of benzodiazepine is flumazenil. That's very important, and they also will bind on benzodiazepine receptor but act as antagonists. At low doses, they may act as inverse agonists. So coming to the pharmacological properties of benzodiazepines, on central nervous system, they inhibit limbic, thalamic and hypothalamic areas. Also they will produce, that is the first and foremost action, they produce sedation, anxiolysis, reduce anxiety, muscle relaxation, and they may even produce anticonvulsant action. So they will be reducing the time to get sleep. That's why we are calling them as hypnotics also. They mainly used to tame the animals, and good action especially in case of chemical induced convulsions. That means if there is toxin induced or chemical induced convulsions, you get a better anticonvulsant activity. And on respiration, high doses always depress alveolar ventilation. On cardiovascular system, there is always a reduction in BP, but there will be an increase in heart rate. On gastrointestinal tract, there will be improvement of all anxiety related gastrointestinal disorders, because there will be always a reduction in anxiety. So in case of human, whenever there is nocturnal gastric secretion, which is associated with nocturnal gastric secretion, that means at night there will be some cases where the gastric secretions will be increased. So that also will get reduced after using benzodiazepines. The kinetics, they are well absorbed orally. That's why so many preparations of diazepam oral tablets are available. They cross blood-brain barrier. Their main action is on central nervous system, and diazepam usually transform to other compounds, which is called as non-diazepam, oxazepam, and they will be excreted in milk and cause central nervous system effects in neonates. Adverse effects, there may be some chances of muscle fasciculations, recumbency, and in case of dogs and cats, sometimes they may show excitement, and in cats prolonged usage may cause liver damage. And for acute toxicity treatment, the best antagonist, I already told, the antagonist of benzodiazepine is flumazenil. Drug interaction may happen with some of the antiviral drugs like ritonavir. Macrolides is an antibiotic, itraconazole is an antifungal drug, and nifedazole, rifampicin. Rifampicin is antitubercular drugs. Drug interaction may happen along with this kind of drugs. The contraindications should not be used in case of hepatic damage, renal diseases, hypersensitivity, and also in early trimester of pregnancy. And it's mainly used as a benzodiazepine is mainly used as a hypnotic sedative, muscle relaxant, anxiolytic, appetite stimulant. This also just increase appetite, anticonvulsant, then feline urine sprain, condition which is called as feline urine sprain, aggression, separation anxiety. Then in case of if the animal get fear, In that case also we can use benzodiazepine. And also it is used for restraint of aggressive animals. The dose rates in case of dogs and cats, if you want to use intravenously, the dose rate is 0.1 to 0.5 milligram per kilogram body weight. In case of oral administration, the dose rate is 0.25 milligram per kilogram body weight. So there are so many benzodiazepine receptor agonists like sulpicon, sulpidem, etc. And they may not resemble benzodiazepine in structure, but they will be acting through the GABA A receptor. And I already told, whenever there is toxicity with benzodiazepine, we can use an antagonist which is called as flumazenil, and they will be competitively antagonize the binding and allosteric effects of benzodiazepine. And in lower doses, this may act as inverse agonists, and higher doses as antagonists. So we can use flumazenil for the treatment of benzodiazepine toxicity. Coming to the next class of sedatives, hypnotics. Very important class belong to this category is alpha-2 adrenergic receptor agonist. So they are mainly used as sedatives, and also they are agents which are very good in producing analgesia or relief of pain. They produce very good muscle relaxation and calming in animals. So the most important drug in this category is xylazine. Xylazine is the mechanism of action of xylazine. They will always activate G proteins. Apart from this, there will be the best action or the best described action of xylazine is they are very strong alpha-2 adrenergic agonist. They are very good, very strong alpha-2 adrenergic agonist. So whenever there is agonism of central alpha-2 receptor, mainly the central alpha-2 receptor gets stimulated. So whenever there is stimulation of central alpha-2 receptor, there will be decrease in the release of norepinephrine and dopamine in the central nervous system. So that ultimately result in sedation. So this will be the best described action of xylazine. Apart from sedation, it produces muscle relaxation and analgesia. Apart from its action on alpha-2 receptor, that will be also opens potassium channels and also cause hyperpolarization of the cell. As you know, only depolarization causes stimulation. Here xylazine always produces hyperpolarization. And there will be interruption in the adrenergic transmission in central nervous system, and there will not be any pain sensation. That's why it is used as analgesic too. And the pharmacological effects of xylazine on central nervous system is mainly acting as sedative, analgesic and muscle relaxants. Very important. Then it's also used for reducing anxiety and also to depress thermoregulatory mechanism. On its cardiovascular system, it depresses vasomotor center in the brainstem and increase vagal and baroreceptor activity, and there will be sometimes a period of hypertension followed by hypotension. On respiratory system, it will be always relaxes larynx and produce cough. On digestive system, it produces abdominal distension, increase in the gastroreflex, and sometimes there will be relaxation of the gastrointestinal smooth muscles. Other effects are sometimes there will be a initial hyperinsulinemia, which will be later changed into hypoinsulinemia, ultimately hyperglycemia. The adverse effects of xylazine is mainly they may produce vomition, cardiac arrhythmias, bradycardia, polyuria, blot, ruminal atony, regurgitation, etc. As you know, this is an alpha-2 agonist, and always the treatment of xylazine overdosing must be treated by yohimbine, 1 alpha-2. This one is alpha-2 antagonist. So the antidote of xylazine is yohimbine. And you know, benzodiazepine antagonist is flumazenil. The antagonist of xylazine is yohimbine. Then this is an alpha-2 antagonist. So contraindications for using xylazine is you should not use xylazine in case of mechanical obstruction of gastrointestinal tract, later stages of pregnancy, cardiac dysfunction and seizures. And the dose rates in case of xylazine in dogs and cats is 1 milligram per kilogram body weight. And doses will vary when we use psilocin along with ketamine. Then other agents which belong to alpha-2 agonists are detomidine, medetomidine, romifidine. Detomidine and medetomidine are related compounds and they mainly used in case of horses. And you can see detomidine may produce fetal arrhythmias, whereas medetomidine produces cyanosis. And they are least used compounds. Next compound which is coming under the category of hypnotic sedative. Next category is barbiturates. I already described about barbiturates under anesthesia. So the sedatives, barbiturates which are mainly used as sedatives and anticonvulsants are mainly the class of barbiturates like intermediate as well as long-acting barbiturates. So you can see phenobarbital is used as a very good sedative and that is anticonvulsant too, and we can use it orally. And we have some other barbiturates like amobarbital and secobarbital which can be used as hypnotic sedative. And coming to other class of drugs are which can be used as hypnotic sedatives are chloral derivatives. We have chlorohydrate here which will be converted into trichloroethanol, and that will be the compound which is producing sedation and that will be depressing cerebral cortex. Next compound is paraldehyde. This is a polymer of acetaldehyde and that will be causing irritation to throat and stomach. Normal doses, it may cause depression of cerebrum. That's why it is used as sedative. And toxicity include acidosis, gastritis, etc. And sometimes if you use intravenously, it may even produce hemoglobinuria. Then other agents which can be used as sedative is bromide. They mainly belong to the category of inorganic salts. And we usually it is producing sedation and there is no analgesia. You can see, you have to remember, in case of psilocin there will be always analgesia and anticonvulsant action along with sedative action. In case of bromides there is no analgesia and this is actually a cumulative poison and it's mainly used to calm down agitated horses when we use for long travel. Another compound is ethchlorovinol. This is an anticonvulsant, muscle laxant, and it is a short-term hypnotic in human. And another compound is mefrophobate. This action is very similar to benzodiazepine. It's also having some mild analgesic action. So this completes hypnotics and sedatives. We'll continue with the tranquilizers in the next lecture. Thank you.